Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're doing well and good. And if you're new here, hi, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today's video is going to be a little bit of a different one, a bit more of a story time for you guys. I feel like I've been wanting to film this sort of video probably since I started my channel, but talking about weight, my fitness, my journey along the way is probably a bit of a strange one to talk about. I feel like you have to get to a point where you feel comfortable, you feel like you're ready to talk about something like that, and I feel like I'm at the stage now where I am getting to the point where I can talk about it. I am ready to talk about it, and I just want to be open with you guys because I feel like there's so many people out there in the world going through probably the exact same thing that I'm going through, and it isn't normalized a lot. It's a lot more normalized in society nowadays, but not as much as it should be. I feel like it's so important to talk about. It's so important to do my journey on my channel, because one thing that I do want to be bringing onto my channel going forward is me talking openly about weight loss, my journey, weight gain, bringing you guys on a new journey with me to feel better within myself, feel more comfortable. That I can't go forward with doing that without being completely openly honest with you about it, because I feel like I would be failing myself on my channel if I didn't talk about it, because that sort of situation, that sort of topic is so real. It's so sometimes emotional, but sometimes quite daunting to be having, but also it's very realistic. Weight loss, weight gain, your general appearance and how you feel about yourself is such an important topic to be discussing, and knowing your worth, knowing that you're amazing, knowing who you are as an individual instead of comparing yourself to others. So I wanted to talk through my journey starting from the beginning, and yeah, I feel like this is the sort of videos I want to continue going forward. Please mind my hand. You'll probably notice from my last video I am wearing the same dress. I've just filmed my everyday makeup routine, so I haven't had time to wash my hand off just yet, but I just feel like this is just such an important video for me to do. I feel like I can relate to people, but also people can relate to me, because I know that I'm not alone with the way that I've been feeling over the years. If you guys would like to hear my story, my journey, just keep on watching. I do just want to say before I continue with the video that if this video isn't for you, if you find this video sort of triggering, talking about weight loss, calories, diet, fitness, health, scales, all that, click off this video, because it isn't for you, because I'd rather you save your mental health than watch something that's going to make you feel even worse than what you are because of me. So please put yourself first, because that is the main priority, and do what's best for you. If you want to come along with the journey with me, just keep on watching. I don't even know where to begin with this. Let's just start from the beginning. Okay, so for me, my weight has always been my biggest insecurity on my body. I've never been confident or secure with the way I look at all. Still to this day, I am not a confident person for my body, for the way I look. I put myself down all the time, and I am quite an insecure person, and that is quite a big thing to admit, because it's not something that you want to admit on a daily that you are insecure. But I feel like I've always been not a confident person. Since starting my channel, I'm probably a little bit more confident, and beyond on Instagram and TikTok I've gained a little bit of confidence with who I am, and I'm trying to gain self-love and love who I am as a person from watching like different YouTubers like Caris Whitaker. She is someone that I generally have watched for years, and then for her body to change on camera and to openly talk about it, it's just honestly, she was one of the reasons why I felt like I needed and could talk about it, because she's done it herself. I've never been the smallest girl in the room or the smallest sister. I'm one of 4 and I've never been the smallest sister, and I don't think I'll ever want to be the smaller sister or care enough to be the smaller sister. I've realised that now, but when I was a lot younger, when I was in primary school, I'd say that I was quite a good size for my age. I wouldn't say that I was rather big, I wouldn't say I was rather small, I'd say I was rather average. But then when I went to high school, I'd say that I did put on a little bit of weight. And from probably the age of 12, I lived on the scales. My mum used to hide them from me, but even a girl on my street would would just go on the scales and weigh ourselves, and I'd always compare myself because she was a lot smaller than me compared to me. So I always thought, since the age of 12, I've been comparing myself, which obviously for a 12-year-old it is so not normal to be comparing yourself. You're so young, you've not gone through the hormones, you've not gone through the changes at your body in puberty, which we'll go there in a minute. I didn't go through all those stages yet before still comparing myself, and that is where, from the age of 12, I've just been so negative about my body. From the age of 12, I've been told that I was always the big sister, that instead of like when I used to play out on the street when I was younger, people used to say have a carrot instead of having a packet of crisps. Like summer times, people would say like have a carrot instead of an ice lolly. But I was a kid, I just wanted to enjoy, and I just at that point didn't care as much. But I started to go on the scales and look at the size that I was compared to other girls my age. So yeah, when I went to high school, I probably did put on a little bit of weight, but then that's when I started having issues with my stomach, with my IBS, which I feel like I am going to do a completely separate story time for my IBS and my polycystic ovaries, just because they're completely different, separate. They do correlate with this video a little bit, but I feel like they're a completely different topic. So yeah, I had issues with my stomach. I lost a little bit in weight when I was in year 8, but then put it back on. I've done a video before, but I got quite badly bullied in my first high school. So when I moved high school, I was a bit bigger than I was in primary. I went to one high school where I didn't know anyone. My second high school, I knew everyone, because everyone that went to my primary school went to my high school, minus a few people. So compared to high school and primary, I'd probably put on quite a little bit of weight, but I stayed the same weight, probably the same throughout the whole of high school. But I lived on Slim Fast from year 8 and going on the scales and comparing myself, and I think that's when my confidence went down completely. I had no confidence in myself or the way I looked. I felt I didn't wear makeup back then. I didn't have my hair done. I just got it cut one length, which I do now. But I mean, in the sense, I didn't feel like I was myself completely at all. I completely destroyed my confidence in high school and full blown hated the way I looked. So then I went on to college, which my first year of college was the exact same. I was the girl that wore red glasses. I wore red glasses in high school that wore in my college. And I still spent the whole first year of comparing myself. I'd never had a boyfriend because I felt like, why would anyone love this? Why would anyone love who I was with my weight and the way I looked? And everyone just thought I was just quiet, and no one really spoke to me. No boys spoke to me. But in college, that is where I found my best friends for life. That is where like I gained my confidence and gained my own identity. Instead of being like someone's shadow in high school, I gained who I was, and I gained a personality. I had a personality, but I couldn't feel like I could show my personality, and I gained that through one of my best friends, Emily. She allowed me to be myself and allowed me to she basically just accepted me and didn't compare me, or didn't make me feel like I was less than, just because I was a few sizes bigger than her. She generally just was my best, it still is my best friend, and has always been there for me from day dot. So this year of college to the second year of college, I had a little bit of a Debbie Downer, let's just say. I had my best friends. I felt coming like I was coming out of myself, but in that time I had met somebody, which we literally dated like a month. It was a month, it was nothing, like generally nothing, but my confidence went like from this to even this, because like I just wasn't myself at all. I just felt so insecure about my body, about the way I looked. I compared myself to everybody, even my best friend Emily, and I just thought I was just so ugly, so big and everything. And that I was like 16, it was never going to work, but I became really low mentally after probably between the first year and second year of college, and that's when I met this person, and I became really, really low, and I just stopped eating. I spent all the time with my best friend. We'd go on bike rides, we'd go walking for hours. It was quite a big group of us, and we'd just spend hours just walking, because none of us drove at this point. So we'd all just walk, we'd all just stay together, we'd all just go on bike rides. So I lost quite a lot of weight. I lost about 3.5 stone, but it wasn't done healthily, it wasn't done safely. I basically just starved myself for 3 to 6 months straight. It got to the point where I was scared to eat food, where I cried over eating a piece of pizza. I'd hide chicken wings in my bedroom. It became a point where it became very dangerous and very scary, in the sense of like I was hating food, and it was becoming more of an issue than me just losing weight. It was becoming more of I won't say eating disorder, but it was very serious and very dangerous. And it got to the point where like my mum was speaking to Emily, being like, is she okay, like what is going on, why is she not eating the food? But I went back to college after the summer period, and it was weird. I lost loads of weight, so I was a lot skinnier than what I was, a lot smaller than what I was. I was now from like a size 14, 16 to a size 8 to 10, which I'd never been in my whole entire life. One of my friends didn't even notice that I'd lost so much weight, because I've known her since I was 7, so like she just didn't even realise I'd lost it. And then when she looked at me once when I wore an outfit on a night out, she was like, oh my goodness gracious, you've lost so much weight, I didn't even realise. And that was just before I went to New York. But between the year, so when I went back to college, it was like a different experience, because I looked completely different, I felt different, my confidence levels had gone up a little bit, but I wouldn't say a lot. I was still very insecure about myself, I still wasn't eating very much. Let me just tell anyone this right now, not eating and starving yourself and doing that to your body is so dangerous, and I regret it so much, and it's so stupid of me. Such a dangerous thing to do for your body and mentality, and looking back, it doesn't matter how much weight I lost, I was always going to put it back on when I started eating. So it was such a bad idea for me to do that. But when I went back from college, from the summer break, I'd went back as a different person. People actually spoke to me, which is actually crazy. I actually started getting attention off some boys, but I just wasn't, I wouldn't even say attention, people just spoke to me, because in the first year they didn't even speak to me. So from the second year, when I went back second year, I'd lost a few stones, and people started to actually speak to me and acknowledge who I was as a person, which it says it all about society nowadays. Just because I lost a few stone, people started to talk to me, which literally says it how it is. Like, that is how society is nowadays. And it felt good that people actually knew who I was, instead of the shadow in the background. So I went back to college, I finished college, and I met my boyfriend that I'm with now. And he was the first ever person I'd say that ever acknowledged me. He liked me for me, even if I was very insecure and not confident. He liked me for me. And I would say I was very, very happy when we got together. Obviously, he was my first boyfriend. I loved him. He's my first love, and we became obsessed with each other. And he is like the boy version of me. Our weirdness has always equaled each other out. But I feel like as you get comfortable in a relationship, you gain weight, which is what I've done. We've been together 5 years now, and I've probably gained a stone a year. So that is very unhealthy. It's confidence down quite a hell of a lot. I'd say from the start of this year, I've started to try my best to feel comfortable in my own body, because I went from being quite a big girl to really, really small, now to probably quite an average medium-sized girl. But for me, because I went from being so small, from so big, so small, and feeling a little quite big again, it's not my confidence all over again. It honestly, this is why I recently, over the last couple of months, I have tried to focus directly on the food, of my food, because I don't want to go back to that mindset of when I was in college, starving myself, just walking around, doing exercise. I used to run around the whole of the Stanley Park. If you know Blackpool, I used to run around that with my 3 of my friends. We'd run around that. I wouldn't eat, but then I'd run around the whole of Stanley Park. It was so unhealthy. So I don't want to go back to that, to then like, I just don't want to go back to that at all. So I'm trying to do it slowly, so then it's more of a lifestyle change, so I don't just put it back on, because that is what I probably more than likely will do if I did it the other way. So I've spent the last couple of months focusing on food, realising what I love, because I have allergies, so it's so blooming hard to find food that I actually allow that's healthy, that goes together. So I spent the last couple of months doing that, and then this month is the month that I joined back the gym. I've bought gym wear that I actually feel comfortable in to go to the gym, gym sweatshirts, gym tops, and I am getting my bum back in the gym, and I'm just going to focus on doing that for a couple of months, and then try and incorporate it all together, the food and the fitness all together. But yeah, that is the stage I'm at right now. I wanted to do this video because I feel like it is important to talk about weight loss, my journey. That has been my journey. My body fluctuates so freaking much, especially because of the hormones that women go through. But I also have polycystic ovaries, so my weight fluctuates even more than a normal person. As well, I have IBS, so it fluctuates so much. So I find it so hard to sometimes lose weight. I find it so hard to lose weight, but sometimes I lose it really quick. It is so weird how weird it changes all the time. And then sometimes I go through stages where I don't want to eat like I did before. So I want to be positive, I want to be healthy, and I want to do it in a very positive way and a healthy way for myself and my mindset. So yeah, that is my story, that is my journey, and that is what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. I feel like the message that I want to get across from this video is, be you. You will go through stages where you feel like absolutely, and you feel like you have different insecurities, because everyone is insecure about something. But focus on yourself and finding what makes you happy as an individual. I think I got stuck in my relationship to think that like all I needed to focus on was my weight, when if me and my boyfriend were going to work out, it's nothing to do with my weight, it's nothing to do with anything the way I look, it's something to do with us and individuals, and that's how we're going to work. Not just because of my weight, that is also something that goes through my head, because I put weight on, my boyfriend isn't going to like me anymore. That is not the case. It's all about what's on the inside, not just the outside. So focus on you, focus on what's going to make you happy, focus on the positive person you are inside. And that is something that I'm learning, and my sister is helping me do, because something that affected me quite a lot when I put on weight is I get angry all the time. I'm quite an angry person, so I became very opinionated, very argumentative, very no filter in my mouth. Now I'm trying to learn to figure out the right time to say things, figure out whether I should get angry at that or should I just let it go over my head. So yeah, that is me. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you'd like me to go a bit more in detail into that or come along with my journey with me, let me know down in the comments below. But I think anything away from this is you are worth so much more than what the scales say you are or what clothes size you are, and you're amazing and you are enough, as Karis Whittaker would say. But thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.